been a while since I've gone through my yarn stash. If you are friends and family, you would probably call it a ridiculous amount of yarn that I own. If you are a crocheter or knitter, you would totally get that this is a normal amount of yarn. I have a mix of cotton and wool, and the goal is to... let me actually show you. This is our bedroom and also my business and yarn storage. The goal is to fill that cabinet with only yarn. Now it is filled with miscellaneous items plus yarn, but we are gonna get rid of all the other stuff and fill it with yarn. Currently, I have some yarn there, I have yarn there, and I have yarn there, and I have yarn in here. But let's start with throwing everything onto the bed, if even everything will fit. Yes, I said it. I have so much yarn that I'm afraid that it will not fit on my bed. So, we will see. Let's get started. This should be all of the wool yarn that I'm currently owning. It is a lot of Semilla Grosso yarn in different colors, and then a lot of scrap yarns here under. I also have some Shetland wool. These both are yarns that I've been selling in my yarn shop, but I don't do that anymore. So it's scrap yarn from the yarn shop, and I currently don't have any projects for any of this. Let's move over to the cotton yarns. If you thought that this was a big pile of yarn, I have probably triple the amount of cotton yarn. Yay! Yeah. It is 1.5 weeks later. I got really stuck on this yarn project because I realized pretty quickly that that cabinet that I have is too small, and it will probably not fit all of my yarn because there is stuff there that needs to be there. For example, my overlocker doesn't have any other space, so it has to be there. And that means that I can't just make it an entire yarn cabinet, and that annoys me a lot because that was the usual plan. So I have a new perspective on things. This is third time is the charm, right? So the goal now is to weigh all my yarn so I know how much yarn I have, because then I can start the process of using up that yarn step by step. And when I have that, I have a better overview as well. I might also do a Google Sheet or something to just roughly calculate or roughly make an inventory of all the yarn that I have. But we will see. Right now, it's like anything that I do to my yarn project is like, it's good, because there was a risk there that I would leave this and never come back. So, but now I'm here. We're gonna finish this project, and we're gonna try and fit as much yarn as possible there and go through my yarn so that I know what I have, and maybe make me inspired to start some new projects with that yarn that I already have in my stash. That's the main goal. And weigh it, because it would be very fun to see how much kilogram of yarn I have. If you have any guesses, write them in the comments now, and we'll see at the end of the video who was closest, and maybe I can do some kind of giveaway or something with the yarn that I know I'm not gonna use, because I have quite a lot of that isn't really my style anymore. So yeah, but first I'm gonna get some energy and eat some breakfast. Okay, so I have some wooden crates. I bought this when I was selling at a market, I think, and I still have them left, but don't really use them for anything because everything that is inside is getting very dusty. So I don't know if I'm gonna use it for this project or not, but we still have them for organization purposes. I also have one plastic box, but there might be others as well, and I bought some of these crates as well. Sadly, I couldn't find them in the rainbow colors that other people seem to find them in. My local store only had, well, the colors I liked was only the pink. So I bought the pink. This is an old one, and we're gonna see if we can use them some way practically in this project. I would like to store the scrap yarn into these, but we will see. There might be too small. But yeah, I am now gonna start in the end that I feel is most inspiring, which is the cotton scrap yarns. So we are gonna start in that end today and start weighing them, and that's why I have my computer, because I'm gonna write down everything in a Google spreadsheet, because I love a good Google spreadsheet. Okay, so I have counted my wool yarn stash that is unopened skeins, and so far we have 40 skeins of semilagrosso, 2 kilos, 4 skeins of dandelion yarns, which is 0.4 kilos. Then we have Bio Shetland, which is 12 skeins, 0.6 kilos, and a little bit of Biobalance 4 skeins, so 0.2 kilos. These yarns are yarns that I have no idea if I'm gonna use, to be honest, and is therefore going into my donation giveaway pile for now, and then we will see if there will be a, I don't know, what do you think? Should I host a giveaway and give away some of these yarns? Are you interested? It's a very fine organic wool, very nice. The colors are lovely, but it's just so thin that I know that I will not use it. The scrap yarns, I'm gonna just leave it into this box because this is a system that works and it fits perfectly underneath this cabin unit. So I'm just gonna weigh this entire box, calculate minus the box, and then just see how much yarn there is. There is some unopened skeins, so I'm actually gonna do them separately, like this for example, and I have some left for my cardigan that I'm actually wearing right now. That is leftovers, but I think those are maybe the two. Yeah, these are also actually unopened. This is yarn that I bought when I was in London visiting Lucas when he was there for 3 months working. So I have 2 skeins of this and I have no idea what to use. Oh, this is actually opened, I think, because I've done some maybe granny squares or something with this. So yeah, but that I think it's unopened. So, but yeah, this is also unused. It's just not in a pretty skein anymore. So yeah, I need to sort this out a little bit and maybe skein something up just to get a better overview of what's in here. Yeah, I'm having a really hard time giving away or getting rid of yarns. I mean, I'm one of those people who, you never know. You never know if you need a certain amount of yarn in a specific color, and I mean, scrap yarns are always good to have, right? But yeah, I'm gonna weigh this now and see how many kilograms we have of this scrap yarn box.
Sorting out this yarn stash turned out way more therapeutic than I ever could have imagined. It is something with de-stashing and just untangling old yarn skeins that, I don't know, makes you breathe slower in a way. And yeah, in the end, I really enjoyed this process. I've been collecting yarn since I was a kid, so there is some skeins here that definitely have sentimental value, and it's really hard to decide which one to let go of and which one to keep. At the end, my box looked like this, and I'm really happy with the end result.
Okay, so this is how the wool yarn box turned out. I have tried to color separate the skeins a little bit, and I have two small boxes with, I had a lot of like tiny skeins of pink and red, so I put them in one of those plastic crates, and then a IKEA cardboard box for the rest of the tiny skeins. And then I have quite a lot of pink yarn. Here is some mixed balls, not that much of green and blue, a lot of yellow and orange, and then some gray, very little black yarn. This is the only black yarn I have, and this is the only white skein I have, so very little white and black. I also added 2 yarn kits that I don't know where to store otherwise. These might also be added to the giveaway. Keep an eye on the community tab on the YouTube channel, because there is where I will post about the giveaway. And I also put the macrame skein there as well. So yeah, I'm very happy how it turned out. It looks so much neater and so much prettier than the mess it was earlier. And now I'm gonna weigh it and see how many kilos this is. I'm just gonna take those 2 away first. So here is all of my open cotton yarn skeins. I also found a bag with unfinished project or mending project, like this link that doesn't have an eye because he lost it, and a pair of mamelucca. And yeah, here is also more yarn, so I need to sort that out too. But I've tried to color, sort, coordinate into plastic bags my cotton skeins. My goal now is to just put them into that box, I think. And yeah, I don't really care if they get mixed a little bit. So the goal, or the dream, would be to have crates in all different colors and just sort them by color, but that is not the case today, so we're gonna do with what we have.
hurting, so I need to take a break and continue tomorrow. But this is what I've done so far with the cotton yarns. Here is the main scrap yarn pile. I've tried to sort them into rainbow order, kind of. And in this basket I have brown, beige, white and black. It is a little bit tight, so I couldn't make it that pretty, but that is that. You will not see that. And in this tiny basket I have tiny amounts of different colors. I have also made a tiny pile for donation. I might add more, but I haven't decided yet. But at least these I think I will not use. They are a bit shiny and pretty thin. They would be perfect for embroidery, for example, but yeah, I don't think I'm gonna use that. This red is pretty gorgeous though. Then I also found some more wool yarn that I'm gonna add to this box and the trash pile. I moved this is my sewing and mostly like knitting magazines, so I moved them to this side of the cabinet, and that means that I got a shelf that used to be there that I'm gonna put here, so I get 4 shelves instead of 3. And I think that's good for the yarns, because then I don't need to stack them that high. So yeah, that is the plan so far, and this is how the wool storage look like so far. I'm really happy with how it turns out. Okay, it is a new day, and I need to finish this project because I have other projects that I need to get started on. So today the plan is to do the last skeins and calculate them, how many kilograms there are. The things I have left is unopened cotton yarn skeins of Alba mostly, and Karma cotton. Hey! Yeah. So yeah, that is what we are gonna do. Okay, so this is the 4 boxes that we are still working with, and I bet you can understand now why it's not gonna fit into that cabinet. So we're gonna see what will fit, and the rest is gonna just be in these boxes and go back onto that shelf. So yeah. The reason for all of this cotton yarn is because I love to host crochet alongs, especially amigurumi crochet alongs, and I've been hosting them since 2018. At some point, I decided to sell yarn kits for these crochet alongs, and instead of buying yarn from a yarn store, I buy yarn wholesale, which means that the skeins is much cheaper than buying directly from a yarn store. So that is why I have a lot of Alba cotton and Karma cotton as well. Alba is my favorite cotton by far. I use a 3.0 millimeter crochet hook for that yarn. It is super high quality and very nice to work with. Karma cotton is a bit thicker. I use a 3.5 millimeter crochet hook with that yarn. The color scheme is amazing, and it is made from recycled cotton yarn, which I've never seen a amigurumi yarn before that is made from recycled cotton yarn. So yeah, that is why I have such a huge amount of cotton yarns. Okay, so yesterday I finished a couple of projects, which means that I have now more scrap yarn, cotton scrap yarn specifically, that has been attached to a project but isn't anymore, so I'm gonna weigh this as well. Note, I have not calculated the scrap yarn that are attached to other projects, so the number that we get at the end of this video will not exactly represent my entire stash, but the biggest part of it. This is Deluxe. It is a new yarn that I've tried out. It was very lovely to crochet amigurumis in. This is Alba cotton, and this is some old Järbo cotton. So yeah, let's add these to the scrap yarn box. Okay, I have done the calculations. I have divided up wool yarns, cotton yarns, and then other yarns, which is, for example, some Stellaris golden thread yarn that I don't know really in which category to put them in. So we have, just a second. Okay, my friends, we have a result. Wool yarn, I have calculated that I have 6 kilograms and 645 grams of wool yarn in total. This includes scrap yarns as well as unopened skeins of yarn. Then we have the cotton yarns.
I have I have 20 kilos and 386 grams of cotton yarn in my stash. The scrap yarn amount was 2 kilos and 136 grams. Karma cotton was the biggest chunk, of course, because that is something that I have sold inside my yarn kits before, so that is why I have a huge stock of them left. That was 12 kilos and 250 grams. Of the wool yarns, I had most scrap yarns. That was the wool scrap yarn portion of this is 3 kilos and 145 grams. In total, I have a yarn stash that weighs 27 kilos and 206 grams. Yeah, I need to start working on my stash because this is ridiculous. To my defense, I have sold yarn inside of my business, and that is why I have this huge amount of yarn left. But yeah, let me know if you have any ideas on what I should do with this. If you have any good patterns that use up a lot of yarns, or I don't know. I am gonna host a giveaway. To enter, you just have to be subscribed to the channel, like this video, and comment below your favorite yarn that you love using. That's the only thing you need to do. I will combine together 3 yarn kits with some of the yarn that I know isn't really my style anymore, and also throw in there a little bit, probably some Karma cotton yarn too. So it will be a mix of Karma cotton and wool yarn. So if you want to enter the giveaway, subscribe, like, and add your favorite yarn in the comments, and I will randomly pick a winner from that pile. I guess that was that for this video. I'll see you around. Thank you so much for watching once again, and yeah, bye!